Hello friends. Today we're gonna take a look for equation of line. What is a line? If we are given 2 points in space, it represents a line. For example, 2 points means a line in the space. And for example, this point is given as A, this point is given as B, and the coordinates of these points are given x0, y0, and B is x1, y1. If the coordinates of 2 points are given, then we can derive the equation of this line, the line that passes through these 2 points. We define the m as difference of y, increment of y and increment of x, y1 minus y0 and x1 minus x0. We call this m the slope of the line. Slope. And in this way we rearrange this equation. X1 minus x0 equals y1 minus y0. We can write the equation of this line as this, and we can write the equation of line as this. For example, we can take we set the point A as x0, y0, then we can choose the point B, which is x and y coordinates. This B point is our selection, is arbitrary, and when we write this equation again, we have a slope m and x point A x0, y0. When set the point A x0, y0, then we choose the point B as x and y. This line or these lines are represented by this equation. Here x and y are variables and m is slope. Let's have an example about it. For example, 3 and 2, and point B is x and y, and we are given that slope is 1/2. Here we have to know the slope in order to calculate this equation, this equation of line. X minus 3 divided by y minus 2 equals m equals 1/2. I'm repeating again. In plane or in space, 2 points represent a line. Two point contains, 2 points contain a line. If we know one point which coordinates are x0 and y0, which are given, and to define a line we have to know either this point's coordinates or this slope. One of them is sufficient, slope or x and y. And an equation of the line is given by this. By this equation we know x0 and y0, we know slope m, then we write this formula and rearrange it. It gives us the equation of the line. Here is y minus y0, and here is x minus x0. The slope is 1 minus y0 divided by x minus x0. If we recall trigonometry, if we remember the tangent of an angle, we can write this as tangent alpha. The slope is tangent alpha. And we call this differences increment. For example, y0 increased and become y. Now x0 increased and become x. These are increments. These are increments. And and lastly, in conclusion, we can estimate the slopes by saying the lines are perpendicular or parallel. If two lines are perpendicular to each other, if two lines perpendicular to each other, for example, line 1 with a m1 slope and line 2 with a slope of m2, if these two are perpendicular to each other, then the product of these two slopes would be -1. For example, one line with a slope of 1/2 minus -1/2, and the other is 2. These are perpendicular to each other. If we say parallel to each other, then obviously slopes will be equal to each other if parallel. Let's give two-line equation. let's draw them in the coordinate axis easily. When we have the equation of the line, we can easily sketch it or draw it in the coordinate axis. We give x 0, then x 0, y comes minus 5. X 0 here, this axis, y axis is x 0 minus 5. And then we give the y 0, we take the y 0, then x is 5 over 2. 5 over 2. It means that this line cross these 2 points like this. Now let's calculate the other one. Let's draw the other one, sketch it. We give the x 0 and y become 1. And we give the y 0, x become 2 over 3 here. And this is the other line. Cross these 2 points. This is the other line. I want to find the intersection of these 2 lines here. The coordinates of this point, which is 2 line intercept. I want to find that coordinates. In order to do that, I'm gonna take the y here. Y equals 2 minus 3x divided by 2, and then put this y in the other equation. 2x minus 5 equals 2 minus 3x divided by 2. We rearrange this equation. 4x minus 10 equals 2 minus 3x. And arrange again. 7x equals 12. X equals 12 divided by 4. Once we found x, and then we take it, either equation, we can put it and find y. I prefer first equation. 2 times 12 over 7 minus 5 equals y. Minus 9 over 7 is equals y. If we call this point P is 12 over 7 and minus 9 over 7. And let's estimate the slope of these 2 lines. Slopes are what are the slopes of these 2 lines? As you can see here, 2 is the slope, and we look at it. Minus y over minus 2 minus 2y minus y 2 3x minus 3x. here is the slope. Easily we can say shortly in an equation, to get on the other side divided by 2. Let me clearly state it. Clearly say it. We want to find the slope of this equation of line. I divide to both sides by 2. 1 minus 3 over 2 x equals y. Here is positive. This is negative, but this is positive. Now, y minus 1 equals minus 3 over 2 x minus 0. So, the slope is minus 3 over 2. Here we should be careful about this 2 coefficient here. This should be cancelled, and this should be 1 here. If the coefficient of y is not 1, then we cannot say directly the coefficient of x is slope. But here the coefficient of y is 1. We can say that, directly say that slope is 2. We have to be careful. Yes, we saw the line, equation of line, slope, and drawing lines, and finding interceptions, parallel lines and perpendicular lines. Thank you very much. See you again in another video.